Over her 19 appearances to this point, Ginger had done well playing sweet girl roles, but had stood out in 4 roles as a bad girl or tough but sweet, wisecracking chorus girls. With that, and with aid from her boyfriend Mervyn Leroy, Warner Brothers gave Ginger her breakout roles with top section billing in 2 big-budget productions, 42nd Street and Gold Diggers of 1933. 42nd Street was a great success, nominated for Best Picture, 8th highest revenue movie of the year, and listed as one of the best all-time musicals. It had a big cast, all appearing in big movies over their careers as part of the top Warner Brothers ensemble, and most who will appear in movies with Ginger again. Ginger didn't make the poster, but did make the opening credits. 42nd Street takes the Depression head on. In these tough times, a new show, Pretty Lady, is about to start. Huge star Bebe Daniels is doing her part, flirting with Guy Cabee, the financier, who made his fortune with kiddie cars, something Ginger references several times in the movie. The great musical comedy director, Warner Baxter, needs this because he lost it all in the crash. The producers are concerned because he has health issues he's trying to hide, but he is determined to put this show over. The chorus girl's story, as well as all the good lines in the opening, is totally represented by Ruby Keeler, the charming Una Merkel, and Ginger. Merkel flirts with director-assistant Georgie Stone to ensure she makes the show. Ginger appears, sporting a monocle, which she requested to stand out, and an English accent. Merkel recognizes her right away and tells Stone. He says the famous, or infamous, line in this pre-code movie. Not Anytime Annie. Say, who could forget her? She only said no once, and then she didn't hear the question. Another chorus girl mocks the two of them, and feisty Ginger tells her, "It must have been tough on your mother, not having any children." Her monocle falls out and is stepped on, but Ginger has a ready supply. Keeler, at her first audition, stands in line with Merkel and Ginger tells her, "Stick with us, kid, and you'll come in on the tide." Merkel signals 3 to Stone. With a little assist from Powell, Keeler makes the show. Baxter tells the cast in 5 weeks they're going to have a show. He warns them, "It's going to be the toughest 5 weeks that you have ever lived through." During practice, Ginger and Merkel get quick wisecrack lines. The plot turns to matters of the heart. Powell is flirting with Keeler. Daniels loves her ex-vaudeville partner, George Brent, and is sneaking around with him. His career went nowhere, feels like a gigolo, and resents the sneaking around. Baxter finds out about Brent and asks goons to get rid of him. Brent meets Keeler, and a romance starts. As he says goodnight, the goons warn him about Daniels and beat him. Daniels and Brent break up so he can move on with his career. He has taken a job in Philly. Baxter announces the opening in Philly, and Ginger and Merkel are not happy, but Daniels is upset. The final practice day. Powell continues to flirt with Keeler. Daniels performs "You're Getting to Be a Habit with Me" in the practice. Baxter reveals to Stone his fears and pre-opening jitters. Brent is waiting for Keeler after the practice, and Daniels sees him. At the party, it is all too much for her, and she blows up. Ginger staggers over, drunk, and says, "You better hop on your kiddie car and go back to Cleveland." She drunkenly hiccups and says, "Excuse me, it's the tight shoes." Daniels loses it and tells Cabee to get lost. She calls Brent, drunk and heartbroken, and begs him to come to her. The producers see him come to her room, as does Keeler. Keeler goes to warn them. Daniels jealously strikes out at Keeler and breaks her ankle. With Daniels out and the play opening that evening, Cabee declares he has found a replacement and shows up with Ginger in a fancy car. Ginger declares Now there's a kiddie car I could really go for. They are all stunned, with Stone saying, "Anytime Annie, well lay me low." Inside, Ginger is honest, says she cannot carry a show, but tells Baxter Keeler can. Baxter rejects the idea, but Ginger convinces him saying, "I've been waiting years for a chance like this, and if I give it up for someone else, believe me, she's gotta be good." Keeler is stunned when Baxter offers her the lead. Ginger tells her, "Sure you can, honey. Don't let him scare you." Over the next 5 hours, Baxter works Keeler to the bone. There is something almost prophetic in this scene, with Ginger's character saying she could never be a lead like Keeler. Their careers had previously crossed paths in 1930. Ginger was in her first Broadway play, Top Speed, when huge star Eddie Cantor came backstage to visit Ginger. He declared Ginger had a great future in the business and championed her career. He brought Ginger to Florence Ziegfeld for an audition for the lead in the next Ziegfeld Follies. In the middle of the audition, Al Jolson, the star, called declaring he had found his new co-star, Ruby Keeler. Jolson and Keeler were soon wed. So here, Keeler is the lead and Ginger supporting cast. Within a few years, Ginger's career reached the top and stayed on top, while Keeler's faded away. Keeler and Powell finally reveal their feelings for each other. Daniels comes in and gives Keeler a sweet pep talk. She's going to marry Brent tomorrow, which she really wants in life. The show opens. Baxter gives her the final pep talk, AFI's number 87 Top 100 quote. He reminds her everyone is counting on her, and then says, "Sawyer, you're going out a youngster, but you've got to come back a star." Keeler and Clarence Nordstrom sing and dance a sweet version of Shuffle Off the Buffalo, but the cynical yet fun version follows by Ginger and Merkel. Ginger does not make a mistake here, starting to say belly and replacing it with tummy. Language and mores change over time, and belly was considered vulgar back then. Yet her character would use it. In between scenes, Ginger nags a tired-looking cabby about walking her dog, not the glamorous life he was expecting. Powell sings Young and Healthy. Now comes the big finish, the highlight of the movie, the song 42nd Street, which hit 5th on the Billboard Top 100 and is AFI's 97th Top 100 song. This is when the big song and dance number was invented. It starts with the song and dance by Keeler, and then the images transcend anything that could fit on a stage, spreading across the city. In the Fred and Ginger series, you often hear me reference Busby Berkeley. In choreography, in a way, he was the anti-Fred. His solution for the technical difficulties with recording dance was to not record it, except when restricted to a small confined area, and replace it with poses, large ensembles, quick cuts, and geometric designs. It might not be my favorite, but it was ingenious, well-liked, and professionally recognized. This was his first big movie and earned him a permanent position at Warner Brothers. The movie ends on a sad note, with an exhausted Baxter listening to the negative comments about him from the audience, regardless they loved the show, and sitting by himself, obviously dejected. Please like and subscribe.